Hey guys, in this month's Historical Fiction 101, I'm going to be sharing with you some books set in Denmark. So this video was actually a request from one of you guys that watches my videos all of the time, and I'm a little ashamed to say because I can't remember who requested this video, but when you requested it, you had like a very specific request because you were talking about Denmark, like post-revolutionary 1800, I want to say is what you said in your comments. I apologize, I can't quite remember, but I don't know a lot about Denmark, so I wasn't really quite sure where to begin, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do Denmark in general, as a whole. Well, anything set historically in Denmark. So that's what this video is. But yeah, whoever did mention or, you know, make this request, sorry, like I said, sorry, I can't remember who made the request, but yeah, thank you for making the request. I really appreciate that. I don't think I would have ever thought about doing a video for Denmark. So yeah, I have 10 books here that I would like to recommend for you guys, 10 books that I managed to find, and I'll tell you what, this was a pretty difficult topic because there's not really too many books set in a historical fiction Denmark, unfortunately. There's mega tons of like contemporary mystery crime thriller books in Denmark. There's plenty of those. So, of course, we gotta start off with some Hamlet. Yeah, guys, we all know that Hamlet takes place in Denmark, so of course we gotta have a few Hamlet references in this video. So I have two books here that are retellings of Hamlet, but told through the point of view of Ophelia, the very tragic character of Hamlet, Hamlet's love interest. So yeah, the first one that I have here is Ophelia by Lisa Klein, and I have read this book. I really love this interpretation of Hamlet, really, really good. And then the other Hamlet retelling is called Ophelia, Queen of Denmark by Jackie French, and yeah, both of these pretty identical summaries in some ways, and I would like to read the second one, but like I said, I have already read the one by Lisa Klein. And my next recommendation here is a book that I just featured recently in my historical fiction recommendations for children, and this is Number of the Stars by Lois Lowry. And this takes place in Nazi-occupied Denmark, and it follows this family that are trying to help out this Jewish family that are their neighbors. Seriously, this book is amazing, you guys. I haven't read it in years, but yeah, if you're looking for a good, like, children's book, I definitely recommend this one for you. Next, I have Nothing But Fear by Nud Rummer. I'm about to mess up a lot of names in this video, you guys. So yeah, just pulling out my notes here. This takes place in a small Danish town in the 1960s. The war is over, it's been over, but the Germans are still hated. And this little boy named Nud, his mother is a German, so he's bullied at school. Next, Prince by Ib Michael. This takes place in 1912 on the Danish seaside by a hotel. It follows this 12-year-old orphan boy who discovers a coffin, and inside is a sailor. So yeah, this coffin has just happened to drift ashore. So it sounds like it's a bit of a mystery of some sort, trying to unravel the identity of this soldier who's just washed up on shore in this coffin. Next, The Astrologer by Scott G.F. Bailey. This takes place in 1601 in the Danish royal courts, following royal astrologer Soren Andersman. And Soren, he's very angry at King Christian IV because apparently the king has murdered his mentor. Ooh, this sounds really good, you guys. I gotta get my hands on this book. Next, The Danish Girl by David Ebershoff. And this takes place in 1920s Copenhagen. A woman is torn in her loyalty to her marriage because her husband is actually a transgender man. And so she's kind of torn with how she should deal with her relationship. Should she stick with her husband? Should she just go after her own ambitions? I guess she's considering maybe getting a divorce and whatnot. So yeah, a very simplistic summary here for this because I think it's much more complicated than what I'm making it out to be. But yeah, this was made into a movie recently. with Eddie Redmayne. Which, you know, I wanted to see that movie so bad because it looks so good. But yeah, if you didn't get around to seeing the movie, you can get around to maybe reading the book, perhaps. Okay, I gotta read this one next because this is kind of a complicated name. Next, I have The Royal Physician's Visit by Per Olav Enquist. Like I said, you guys, I'm going to be butchering a lot of names in this video. This takes place in the 1760s in Denmark, obviously, since that's the theme of this video. And it follows the court physician, Johann Friedrich Strusse. I'm trying to put an accent on all of this and it ain't working, you guys. And he's the physician to Mad King Christian VII. And also, in the meantime, Johann, he's also having an affair with the Queen. Let's throw that in there too. Oh man, this sounds really good. You guys, I'm not familiar with the Danish royal court at all. It's like, you know, I can read stuff about the Tudors and whatnot, and like Denmark is often brought up and whatnot, but yeah, I am absolutely not familiar with Danish royal court life and the kings and queens of that, so that would be cool to get into, I think. Next, The Second Winter by Craig Larson, and this takes place in Nazi-occupied Denmark. We're following a family, and we're also following a prostitute, and somehow this family and this prostitute, their lives become intertwined as they struggle to survive. And this is a very basic summary. If you want to know more about this book, there's a lot more to the summary. It's a very lengthy summary. And the last book I have here, We the Drowned by Karsten Jensen. And this is a very popular book that was floating around on YouTube a couple years ago. And this book, once again, a very lengthy description here, but I'm just going to be very basic with it. This spans 4 generations, 2 world wars. It's mostly heavily about fathers and sons. And yeah, the sea's murderous promise, essentially meaning death, I'm assuming. You know, you never know what you're going to get out at sea, but you know that you can expect death if it happens to come along. And yeah, the novel, it initially starts off in 1848, following some Danish sailors as they set sail. So yeah, that sounds, I've been wanting to get that book as well, you guys. It sounds so good. So yeah, you guys, I hope this video was helpful in some ways, giving you maybe a starting place for some historical fiction that takes place in Denmark. And as usual with these videos, I'm just giving you a very basic plot summary because I can't go into it in too much depth or we'd be here forever. But yeah, if you have any further interest in these books, I definitely recommend going to their individual Goodreads pages, looking at reviews, looking at the plot summaries better, and deciding on your own if you'd like to read them or not. So in the comments below, have I left out any other historical fiction books that take place in Denmark? I probably have, so if I have, leave them down below. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this video, you may like these other videos. Bye guys.